All right. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Let's do it. Yeah, yeah. I like this track. It's a good track. Oh, yeah. Bow, bow. Cool shit. All right, so that was Night Drive by Moon Maze, and I got that off of Upbeat, UPP Beat. Fantastic, fantastic track. And let me see if there's a link. How about... Okay, well, here. I wish there was a better... copy link. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add this in the description of the video. Do. No, this is all right. Damn, too many windows open right now for my own good. All right, so we got good audio, I think. Let me go ahead and go back and edit this real quick. The phone away from the mic. So let's add this at the bottom. All right. Okay. So we're going to talk about the, the design. Let me look at okay. So, all right. Let's see real quick here. Okay. So this is a developer overview, design philosophy, and developer needs. All right. Let me do that in reverse order. Let me talk about what the project actually is going to need. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and open up my Nucleo. And we'll just go ahead and bring this over. So this is the Nucleo platform. As you can see here, we have 5 members on the team so far, including myself. I want to shout out to the four other gentlemen that, or women, I think it's all men so far, that have decided to join the project. This is not a project where you are going to get paid a bunch of money up front. I just want to be clear about that, okay? I have a fundraiser going, and I'll bring that over right now so we all can take a gander at it. And I picked the most suitable platform, and that's Give, Send, Go. Okay, we have the Flight 93 demo, and I just call it Flight 93 demo, not just Flight 93 demo, 9/11, the Untold story. And I'll just read this briefly, and the name of this studio is Revisionist Games. I don't believe there is another Revisionist Games that exists in the world. It was an original idea that I conceived of a few days ago, thinking about what I can name the studio that would represent the kind of content that we're going to be creating. And what we're going to be creating is content that, through a lens of critical thought, we're going to take a look at events in history. We're going to recreate those events in a gameplay style format for future generations, including the current population of people that are alive as this content is made, to experience the past based on the hard critical evidence and witness testimony and the historical record that can be verified and certified, with the documentation built into the game itself. Like, instead of you finding fake histories of the past, fictional worlds that have existed in video game world, in the video game community, instead you would be finding literal real world documents from the CIA, the FBI, the U.S. government, the Soviet Union, Maoist China. I mean, this is going to be internationally the most important video game that's ever been made. And I say that not to be big-headed about it, but to try and help you understand the cultural significance of an effort such as this. I've always wanted to do something important that was just beyond my existence, that would help push and move the world, not push it, but move the world in a direction where it's a much less cold place to live in, because you're surrounded by people, or you have a way to connect with people, physically in this world, that are at least on the same page as you with what's already happened and what's happening now. That's part of the cultural influence that I want this project to have. I don't want it to be just another fantasy, fictional reality with, occult messaging and signaling hidden within the design of the game. I don't want that at all. I want this to be an out in the open, exposing the truth through the art. So art literally imitating life in a way that it's never been done before. I'm telling you, this has never been done before. Not in the way that I'm doing it. The occult have always had a way of hiding their messaging or putting their signaling and messaging into cultural work. Video games, music, movies, television, the news, all that stuff, government propaganda. I mean, they literally have had their hand in all of that and have shaped it all and turned it into a weapon against the creation, against humanity, against your basic need to survive and not just be happy, but have a healthy body, have a healthy mind, become fully developed into the person, the human, the spiritual entity that the creator gave you an opportunity to become. I want to be very specific about my choices of words, because I know not everybody, but many people have divergent views, in terms of the specifics of how the mechanics are of creation and how the world came to be and all that. But I'm trying to speak to you on a very baseline, fundamental level where there's not a whole lot of places that you can argue and change the subject and distract the conversation. Okay, that's what we're trying to achieve here. So we got the Give, Send, Go. Revisionist Games was born from my pursuit of truth in a world constructed of lies. A concept of game design unlike any other seen. The Flight 93 demo. I should change that. I'm going to change that right now. Let me sign in here. Let me take that off screen for just a moment while I sign in. Login. All right, so we're logged in now. See, I'm trying to show you receipts. This is not a fly-by-night operation. We're doing this. We are doing this. I'm not going to do it by myself, but we're going to do this. We are going to get it done. So let me view my campaign. I wish to edit it. Dashboard. My mailbox. What do I have in the mailbox? Oh, welcome to Give, Send, Go. Well, thank you very much. I much appreciate it. Campaign dashboard. Okay, here we go. Okay, I wish to manage campaign edit. Here we go. Next. So I want to explain something here. Now, $100,000 might seem like a lot to some people that don't have a real grasp of the industry. And I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I've been in the periphery, been watching, been playing games, been reading into things as I made various attempts to do something related to the video game industry in the past, and I've just flopped on my face because I wasn't playing to my strengths. Let me just put it like that. The reason I'm not giving a donation in this campaign to Give, Send, Go is for the simple fact that $100,000, all of it needs to be utilized to launch this project and get work completed to a point where I can launch another campaign in a very short period of time before the development of the demo is over to get more funding, based on having garnered a larger audience at that point after the initial campaign, based on the demonstration of the work that the developers are doing, the sort of the diary work or the social media work done to promote and, again, demonstrate the work being done by the developers. So I just want to be clear about that particular situation. I know some people might frown on this. Well, you're using their well, they give you the option of no donation for a reason. And I think it's when you're not in a position where you can give them something as a token of appreciation, as a donation to their cause of running a platform where you're not giving up a huge percentage of the money that's raised for whatever cause it is you're raising money for. And so that's something I really appreciate as far as their platform, and that's why I went with their platform. Also, it's the lack of censorship that seems to exist in large part on their platform. I'm sure if you had a very nefarious campaign you were raising money for and you were really explicit about what it was and it was probably illegal or against laws in many countries, I'm sure they would take that kind of stuff down. But it doesn't seem like they're doing much political censorship, so that's a good thing. And this project tends to be kind of political, but it's only political if you're messed up in the head and you like committing crimes. But that would be my view of it. So let me change some of this wording here. Okay, the flight. So we're just going to call it, I mentioned this before, Flight 93 demo. So Flight 93 demo gives the youngest generation of players an opportunity to experience the events of that fateful day in American history. For the older generation of gamers, their past is relived in a more complete and visceral form, not filtered by the mainstream corporate controlled media. So mainstream corporate controlled media. I am in the process of assembling a decentralized team of developers and support staff to produce and launch a polished demo in 3 to 4 months. Documentation will be made available very soon. Check back every day for new links and information. So...
Hey, Daddy!
You need to go back upstairs. I told Mommy to keep you upstairs. Go on.
But I know what the Mommy's upstairs.
Mommy's upstairs. Go find her.
But I know what the Mommy's upstairs.
I don't... You know what? I'm not worried about that. I'm doing something right now, so please go upstairs.
No, I know what the Mom is.
This is not fair to Daddy. Please go upstairs.
No, I know what the Mom.
Oh, my goodness. I'll be back. Just enjoy this random video I find about September 11th. All right? Go back upstairs.
Bye.
Thank you. Do I need to follow you?
Yeah.
Ugh. I'll be back.
On September 11th, 2006, thousands from all over the world gathered in New York City, New York. They wore black shirts, reading Investigate 9/11, and held banners that read, "Ask questions, demand answers." This day marked the 5th anniversary of the terrorist attacks of September 11th, 2001. Although the 9/11 Commission report had been published over 2 years prior, many Americans and citizens worldwide remained convinced that the truth was being withheld from the public. Why? Why was a growing percentage of the world population becoming increasingly skeptical of the events of September 11th? Was it a natural inclination towards believing the worst about the United States government? Or was it a legitimate concern that only grew more powerful with time? The 9/11 Truth Movement includes academics, engineers, physicists, firefighters, intelligence officials, and some of the very people whose lives have been shattered since September 11th. Were they all delirious?
You should not be here. No, you've got it all wrong. We're honoring the fallen heroes from 9/11.
As are we.
No, you're not. No, you are not.
I feel so uncomfortable.
I'm sorry.
That next year, I'm not coming here.
Or were they a concerned group of individuals taking the necessary steps to prevent the United States from slipping into its darkest era yet? Was September 11th a surprise attack on America by 19 Islamic terrorists? Or something else entirely?
George Bush has spent an uncomfortable day with his people trying to explain away why he failed to pass on warnings the White House had received before September the 11th that terrorists were planning to hijack American aircraft. What happened that day has cast a shadow over just about every area of American life. Now one of the country's best-known journalists has said that the American response to the so-called war on terrorism has created a climate of effective censorship in a land claiming to be the home of free speech.
There's never been an American war, small or large, in which access has been so limited as this one. The belief runs so strong in both the political and military leadership that those who control the images will control public opinion.
Does it suggest that there was somebody on the inside? He kind of compared it to the Godfather story, where the gun was placed in the men's room.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate you sticking around after that interruption, but this project is I can't tell you how critical this project is. We can literally put this game design on hundreds of millions of computers and gaming consoles between Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series machines, Nintendo Switch. I'm telling you. And this is a game design that's going to scale. It's going to scale very well. It's going to scale very, very well. So, let me see what else here. I can cancel and get out of that. Okay, so, all right, let's talk about the developer needs for this game. Let me go to, where do I want to go? Okay, let me go to Nucleino. Let me go to Nucleino. So, let's go to projects. No, come on. Product docs, no. I still don't know my way around this thing. This is not overwhelming, but it's really packed. Projects. This is the part that gets really confusing for me. All right. Where game design document? Here we go. Okay. So this is the game design document for Flight 93 demo. Okay, so what do we need here? Our team. Let me go ahead and add in. We're going to need a community manager. Going to need that. We're going to need a and that'll be social media influencer marketing. We're gonna need a marketing. We're gonna need a marketing director, someone to have the vision to produce and move basically the information to the appropriate places, like the eventual Discord, the Facebook, the Instagram accounts, like the media itself. The content needs to get pushed by this person to the appropriate platforms to again increase the awareness and the engagement of the game, which will be managed the actual engagement with the people on the users on social media and the influencers, the influencer marketing. That'll be the community manager's job. The marketing director is going to specifically handle making sure that content gets to the social media channels, the appropriate platforms, basically. The community manager is going to be dealing with the actual engagement with users. So, okay. So now that we've kind of got that figured out, and this is all could flex and change and move around. I'm not 100% certain. I'm brand new at this gig. Okay. I'm the guy in charge of it all, who's trying to get pieces in place to make the machine start to move. So we're gonna need artists. Okay. So, and that's gonna be environment, character, and then effects. So, you know, obviously, and let me say this, you know, a lot of the content initially in this game, I believe a lot of it is going to come from already existing assets that are available in the Unreal Engine marketplace. Let me just say that up front. So you're going to see original work repurposing already preconceived assets as a way of facilitating the process, and because I want to accelerate from baseline design philosophy, you know, with parameters with developers, to completion of the original fundraising goal, you know, by September 11th, 2022, you know, raising $100,000 to pay these guys and gals to produce the content that they agree to produce. So that's going to be really important. And then, so we need artists for the environment, characters, and effects. We'll also need basically level designers. What else do we need? We'll need animators. I think we'll probably need a dedicated animator type individual. Animators. And then let's see what else. We'll need game testers for sure. And we can get rid of these. I don't. So yeah, we need a creative director. We need an executive producer. We need a game development director. Those are all my titles at the moment. There's a dev. I'm not right about that. So we'll need a community manager for social media and influencer marketing, and that's user engagement. So I'll just say community manager, user engagement. You know, so they'd be the people like putting posts on social media, updating, you know, the larger audience that are engaged on those platforms of the updates with the game. Community manager of user engagement. We'll need a marketing director, and they're going to ensure that the content again is going to the appropriate platforms on social media. Let's see here. We got artists. We need artists for the environment. We need artists for characters. We need artists for effects. Oh, looks like my son got a new achievement in his game, Minecraft Dungeons. So we'll also need level designers, and we'll need animators, most likely, game testers. What else? Okay, so we're gonna need sound engineers. Actually, sound effects technician. Um, we'll need a music producer, which is literally, in this sense, a music producer is going to write and how do I want to say this? They're gonna write the music and they're gonna compose tracks. There we go. So the music producer is going to write and compose tracks. The sound effects technician is just that. They're going to build the sound effects or find the sound effects samples for the game. And then we also need somebody to what do I want to say? An assistant producer, I think. I'll need somebody to help me work with the developers and making sure that, you know, things are moving along correctly in terms of the work. So we'll need an assistant producer. Trying to think like what else we would really need as far as this goes. I don't know if anybody's got any ideas if you're watching this video at some point, you know, just let me know. Trying to think. So we got me sort of at the top here, trying to put this thing in motion. We need a community manager of user engagement, social media, influencer marketing, marketing director, making sure that the content from the developers is making its way onto social media to, again, market the game, get user engagement with the project. We'll need artists for the environment. We'll need artists for characters. We'll need artists for the effects. You know, if we have weather effects, explosions, smoke, fire, I mean, all that stuff. We'll need level designers. We'll need animators for sure, because eventually we're gonna have like moving faces and talking heads on these characters. Game testers, music producer, and assistant producer. I'm trying to think. Oh, we'll need researchers. We'll need researchers to source the actual material that will be the foundation, the factual foundation for the game itself. And video editors. We'll need some video editors to work as well with our developers to create to produce the videos that will go up on social media and go up on the various platforms, including YouTube, especially this channel right here, where most of the videos will make it here and then be duplicated across other platforms. I just can't think of anything else right now. Video editors, researchers. Oh, we'll need an industry liaison. So we're going to need somebody that is able to give us sort of a skeleton key into a lot of the buildings within the industry that we're just simply not going to have access to on our own, with nobody who's actually directly connected to the bigger parts, the more affluent parts of the industry, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, to be more specific. And that could be a social media person, that could be an influencer, that could be, and it's probably going to be somebody along those lines that's going to get on board with the project and be like, yeah, I can be your inside guy that can get you access to some of these people and get some opinions and get some, we're on to remain anonymous for various reasons. This is going to be a very controversial project outright for some people, and for a lot of people, it's going to be very exciting. I think more people are going to have a positive reaction by a large margin to this project than are going to have a negative reaction, because there's really nothing negative to really point out about this project, except for you're going to say, oh, well, we should leave those people dead in the past and leave their memories unturned. No. We need to find out what's happened, because 9/11 is one of the biggest catalysts for change in America that we've ever seen, outside of maybe the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve might be like bigger overall than 9/11, because the Federal Reserve allowed 9/11 to happen. And before that, you could even go back to the Emancipation Proclamation, which made everybody corporate slaves in America, including the low-paid wage earner on the plantations, often called slaves. Let me think here. So, I think that's good for now. I think this is a good list right here. I think this is a very good list, actually. Yeah, this is a very good list. If anybody's got anything else to add to that, I mean, that would be fantastic. I think I'm going to make a YouTube short about this one, actually. I don't know who that artwork credit is, but I'll figure that out eventually. Let's see here. Game setting. Well, I think I'll work on this off camera, and then when I've got something more substantial with the game setting, I'll come back with that, and we'll talk about it some more. I'm so excited by this. I'm just really am. Okay, so now that we're 40 minutes in, a little bit of an interruption, but you got a little taste of Loose Change Final Cut, which I think I'll re-upload on the channel, actually, because it's fantastic information for the average person and for any developer who's considering joining this project. It's important that as a developer on this project, and now we're going to get into the design philosophy here, you have to understand that we're building something that is going to be representative of the truth of this world. It isn't a fantasy. It isn't something that's just made up out of nothing. It isn't, it's something completely original in philosophy and design implemented into a video game. But it is absolutely something that already exists in the world. And the biggest problem is that most people don't want to take the time to listen and read and understand. So they digest short news articles written by major corporations and carried out by agents of those corporations that literally have their only interest in getting another paycheck. And that's the thing that seems to drive almost all business at this point in history. There are some places that are principled and are trying to create a product that's very useful and serviceable for human habits and behavior. Others are being produced to actually change your behavior, and yet still others are actually trying to not only change your behavior, but they're also trying to hurt you. So it's in a world of consumption and consumerism, even within the video game industry, this is not meant to be a project where the value is done once you put the game down. No, the value is something that you actually take with you when the game is done. Because it's all of the understanding that you got about this world coming from your experience in this game. Let me just refresh myself on what the title is again of this video, because there's a lot we're talking about here. So design philosophy. Okay. So in terms of the design philosophy, again, because that's what we're talking about now. In terms of design philosophy, you need to put all your normalcy biases aside. And I'm talking to the developers now. If you're going to join this project, you need to put your normalcy biases aside. Everything that you ever believed about 9/11, everything that you ever believed about Flight 93, you need to put all of that aside and simply recreate the world based on the evidence. That's all we're trying to do. And so I'm going to end this stream, and I'm going to start another stream, and we're going to go over basically the character creation portion of this. All right, so we don't got anybody in the audience, but you know, this is a video made to sort of be something for people to learn from about the project. It's not meant to have an audience per se. That's not really the point. We're trying to get stuff out there